Morning. Woke up at 6 and it was raining. I'm looking out there now. It's now 8:30. It's just stopped, believe it or not. But I don't know if you can see these fronts keep hitting us, which I've been doing the last 24 hours or so. You see all the mist on the hills and don't look too bad out there. To say, just start raining, but I'm lying on my camp bed, which I put there. Does the job. Got it off Amazon. I don't know what it's called. It's a nice, rigid, strong one. It's not, and it folds. Believe it or not, unzips, and then that releases the kind of tension on the camp bed, and then it just all folds and packs away into a decent sized bag. Air mat, obviously, because the fabric's very thin. If you're lying on with a quilt over you or whatever at night, then your back's not covered and you'll feel a draft. So by putting an air mat, and that's the one the dogs destroyed nearly on our last trip here, when we're at Loch Dochard in that hot weather. Quilts for the dogs. I did have them on them, but when I woke up at 6, it was quite muggy and they were overheat. They'll get too hot. So I just decided what to do. First got to get change, feed dogs, have some breakfast and see what the weather provides. By then we should see. I'm looking all the way down there and that's what's been heading this way. Looks pretty grey out, doesn't it? But I'm expecting probably same as yesterday, or rain. Dogs were sleeping up there. That's a bit of a mess. I've got to tidy up. Luckily, the blankets are protecting everything. Stella was sleeping down here, spread out as normal here. Had the fire on to about 9:30, and it got too warm, so I had to open the door. This used to be a school hut, believe it or not. I think I've told you this before. Imagine where that fire is, probably teacher's table was. And you probably had, I don't know, 3, 6, maybe 6 pupils in here probably, maybe a bit more. From the local area. This is going back many years, long time ago. Long way for the kids to walk, but it just shows how kids have changed nowadays, doesn't it? It's not me being old man or anything, but imagine the kids had to walk some miles to come to this little school. But does the job. It's a brilliant little shelter when the weather's not that good, you know, and you can use it to kind of go various ways. You could go Glencoe and buy the car, you know, travel. As I say, I planned to get to the Cairngorms, but we need some dry weather to do some searching. Just I don't care if it's the odd shower. It's just, I mean, look at that. It's all heading this way. There's nothing but rain. Right. Let's sort breakfast out and kind of do some kind of tidying up of some sort. It looks a tip. Right. I don't know where to start. And no mouse. I was expecting a mouse, but there's no mouse in it. No little scurrying or anything. That's another reason why I had the camp bed, because I didn't fancy being on the floor with a mouse running over me. But it's nice and comfortable anyway. And we're off. We had a clear spell where we had some sunshine, believe it or not. It was beautiful. So, come out with a pack and got all the gear in there. So if that catches up with us, which it probably will, we might be lucky, we might skirt it. But I'm sure we'll get caught in one sooner or later. So what we're doing, if you fail the first time, what do? You carry on and succeed the next time. So we're not in the tall grass yet, but as soon as we get near the tall grass, I'm going to have to put the skirt on, because all this tall grass is soaked. And my knees will just get absolutely clobbered. I'll get back drenched. I'll keep the jacket off. Use some DEET, because yesterday they were biting, not many, but I did get back and noticed some swelling on some certain areas of my arms. Don't know if it was clegs. Don't seem like midge bites, they're a bit bigger. Didn't see them, no. Right. So on the camera, on the phone today, hopefully quality's better. Beautiful, isn't it? Seems mad going back up and doing it again, but we've got to do it. We missed it yesterday. I'm annoyed. I don't like being beaten. And hopefully, either tomorrow or Monday, we'll be up in the Cairngorms doing a check and search up there. This weather's got to break sooner or later and get better, innit? And famous wetting rebel, not in there. Okay, it goes under the hedge, under the fence there. Now, if I told him to go under there, he would never get under there. That was so insane, eh? Right, see you a bit further along. It's getting a downpour over there. But I'm hoping we will be spared. Anyway, for now. So quiet, listen. Well, apart from these idiots. Stella, stop eating grass. She's always eating grass. Whoa. Yeah, don't go in there. Yeah, it's even boggier today. We had a really heavy downpour through the night and gales and you name it. It was going crazy. The old hut was moving. I was chatting to a couple of locals over the past 2 days, and they ask, why am I doing it? They seem to be very suspicious in some ways, which is weird. You didn't expect that, you know what I mean? You expect people to say, oh, that's good on you. But I explained, I said, like, you know, we're a community. It's a hiker, a wild camper. You know, no one's forcing us to do it, but I think the goodness of your heart. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be doing it every month or anything like that. But like these periods during the summer months where it's not too bad, well, I didn't think it'd be so wet. This is a glorious time to be out doing it, because look here, you're out in the lovely scenery. It's peaceful, dogs are happy, hopefully the weather's not too bad. The midges, well, you get used to them after a while. But, you know, trust me, you do. Once you've been bitten so many times, you just sort of give up. But, yeah, I had a couple say to me, oh, and looked at me like some weird I was at. And I was like, I was stunned by their initial kind of thoughts. So they were like, well, lots of people go missing here. I said, yeah, but are they still missing? You know, have they been found? They said, oh no, they've been found. I said, well, that's different then, isn't it? And then I put it to them, I said, like, imagine some estate nearby has had a worker working with the cattle or something, and he's gone off in the woods sorting the cattle or searching for them or whatever. Look how bog it is here. And he's disappeared, and after initial searches they can't find him. And I says, would you feel compelled, not because you maybe not even knew the bloke, maybe you don't even know the estate that well, but would you feel compelled to help? You know, just join up with a group and on your spare time or something and go looking for him because he hasn't been found? And I said, yeah, well, yeah, probably would.
And I says, well, there you go then. I just think they think outsiders coming from long distances to carry out searches in their own time, with their own, using their own finances and all that, they thought it very strange. But in a way, that's telling of mankind, isn't it, that when you do something good, people seem stunned. They think this has to be a catch. Trust me, there's no catch. I'm out doing what I enjoy. I'm out with the dogs. If I'm up that mountain, or walking along here, what's the difference? I'm not a Munro. I'm not one of these people who likes bagging Munros or anything. Stella's getting drowned here. You stupid girl, you're going to be plate of water where you're going. Rebel, get up. So yeah, I was a bit stunned, and you know, they were asking, they said things like, well, why you? And I says, well, who else? If it ain't me, it's got to be someone else, isn't it? Go on, you. Oh, she's stuck. Hold on. Stella, I'm chatting to you. Stella's fighting for her life, like, I'm stuck in a hole. Obviously, she ain't got the power in the back legs now to kick herself out. Hey, you too. So, yeah, I was a bit stunned by their initial feelings or thoughts. Right, get away from there. Go. Crazy. Welcome to madness. I mean, you explain to me, do they understand the difference where we're hiking? No. They're happy wherever they hike. Look at her. Stella's happy just to plod on. This morning she got up and her leg was stiff and she was lifting it off the ground. I've learnt now it's not pain related, that's stiffness. It's like us with bad arthritis. When we get up, I've had it in the past. Get back on the trail. Go. Go. I'm trying to get down there. When you initially get up, your leg's so stiff, you sometimes lift it off the ground. You go, It's just the stiffness. There's probably a bit of pain associated, but she's on so much pain relief, so she'll be fine. But what else is a 13-year-old dog gonna do, eh? But she, you know, the minute she downs tools, I know she's had enough. She won't. She's good, and she'll go to about 15 and just collapse or something somewhere, and that'll be it with her. She just doesn't want to give up. It's like here, she likes paddling here, up here. So yeah, and but it's amazing. Other people that I spoke to, I said, well done, good on you. You know, and that's the only praise you want. It's just someone say thank you. You know, it doesn't cost nothing, does it? But as I say, thousands and thousands of hikers out there, they don't want to get involved. That's fair enough. I did. So please don't look at me like I'm some strange idiot for helping. I'm doing it through the kindness of my heart. I don't want no glory. And yes, I was, when I up here the first time, I spoke to the press after asking Phil, the supervisor beneath the service. I said, should I? Because I'm not used to speaking to the press. And he says, no, they're fine. So I spoke to him, but I spoke to him about 5 minutes, and what they wrote was basically what I said. But the photo that was on the BBC Scotland, I didn't even know he took that photo. He took one of me in front of the tent, but I never used that. So he was sneakily taking photos as we're carrying out our searches and discussing things. But that's fine. I don't mind, but I haven't done it for that. No press here today, and there won't be no press in the Cairngorms, and there won't be no press in the future months. So I'm looking at that gap because I know we can go over there and cut a corner. Tempting, isn't it? And also we could do a search for it there, couldn't we? I don't know how far it goes. Could do a search for it there. Yeah, we're going to take a detour. Not planned. But that's what I was saying yesterday. These are the the ones that can pay off sometimes. But wow, it's this grass tall, and it's probably hiding holes while I'm talking to you, so I'm gonna have to put you away. Stay there. That's a no-no. That's probably really deep. A swamp and bog and sludge and God knows what else. There was a gate there, and obviously it's been kicked down or fell down. But good idea, but we're not going through that. 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, easily, probably all dried out and just a bit muddy. We could have got around it, but not today. Look at her, she wants me to throw stones. She still thinks she's 2. Rebel, leave her alone. She just had a swim. We've been lucky so far, and look, there's actually some sunshine and there, so we might get some sunny spells as well as some rain, which I feel is starting now. I think this is getting us. Can't say how heavy it gets. I've got the skirt on, or kilt if you want to be PC. Right, on we go. Coming to river crossing number 1. I guess that'll be a bit higher today. No, down there you. She's determined to throw herself off a ledge, isn't she? Stella likes tailing onto my legs. I'm gonna have to take my skirt off. That sounds strange, doesn't it? Alright, I'll start calling it a kilt, I think, from now. The reason it's getting clammy again. As the sun keeps popping out, it gets really warm. Well, it's not much higher. I was expecting it to be higher after. I know the river is. It's where I've been filling up. There was a ledge, and the ledge is about 4 inches underwater now. So I know that. Whoa! Well, I don't know. Just deep in the middle. Thank God for high boots. The other one will be too high, way too high. Now yesterday we came through the pine area there and had a skirt around there. Nothing picked up. Dogs didn't seem interested in anything. I guess someone's had a campsite down there. Rogue, get up. I ain't seen no ticks on the dogs, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm going to have to take my skirt off. Everyone's going to go mad. It's not a skirt. That is now dangerous. I don't know if you can see the force. Trust me, don't underestimate the force of that water there. It would sweep you off your feet. I know, because I've tried it in the past. Not this one, others. That is now about 3 feet deep, at least. If you see these boulders, and look back on the video about a month ago, you'll see how high these boulders are. They're pretty high boulders, and a lot of them are covered. And it's flowing. Look at the rate, the flow rate coming down. They say anything above your knees, and if you can't outwalk, what they class it as is, if you can't outwalk that pace or that water, then it's dangerous. And you imagine, you try walking beside that now, and I tell you what, it's keeping up with you, isn't it? So now the way to cross something like this, if you had to, and you shouldn't, you know what I mean, I'm not going to tell people to do it, but you use your poles like a tandem, like a tripod effect, and you kind of go, you're walking into the current as such. Even though you're going diagonal, you're walking into the current and leaning into it. But trust me, hey, get here. It's enough to sweep the dogs off, that is. Robert, right, Stella, back here, back there, there. She ain't got the power to fight that current. If one of them legs on the tripod goes, then you go. That's why it's so dangerous. But you'd only cross that now if it was like you were cut off and you had to cross it. And even then, you'll try different ways to get across this river safely. It would be a last resort now. I was crossing water like this, I'm saying waist high, probably 2-3 inches below waist, but it was close to waist. That was covered in ice and flowing fast in this, and trust me, it was the scariest thing I ever done. Not something I would want to do again, and I learned a good lesson. Don't underestimate nature. And this is why a lot of people get caught out. You'll get like a third of the way there, and then you'll start realizing you've got a problem. And when you start trying to turn to come back, the force of the water actually bring you off. If you get halfway and realize you've got a problem, then you are stuck, because you can't go one way and you can't go the other. So it's not worth it. Luckily we don't have to. But trust me, I know what people say, don't look too bad. Trust me, that's deep. And that's why I was saying to the people that came up, Stella, get away from the water, please. I'm worried she'll get caught in there's some of the current there, undercurrent. The people came a month ago for the meet. They don't realise how lucky they were with the weather. I mean, again, you could get around it, but I was trying to explain how bad these rivers get. That's one night. We were here yesterday and it wasn't too bad. That was one night of rain. It all comes off the mountains, you see, and coming through the lot. Right, we're going through the heavy grass, which we didn't have to. We could have gone through the pines, but rope, rubble back. As you can see, we decided to take the pine area. This is an area of interest for me as well. This is Clashgour Farm is about there, and this is leading towards Loch Dochard, but it's a hell of a plantation. But I don't want to go into any graphic details about past episodes here, but there has been people found in this section of the plantation. It's quite a big section, trust me. Yeah, we're cutting down and then we're going to work up the right hand side, which is going to be hard work, but I don't think it's been done that much. I haven't done it. I don't think Mike's done it. I don't think anyone else has done it in the party that came on the meet. I'm guessing Mountain Rescue or the police done it. But yeah, so this plantation's another one of interest for me, because it hasn't been done as far as I know again, and it seems to have a history. Terrible history, which is a shame. But why? I don't know why these places get certain attachments. Of all the places around here, why was that section? There's several stories from locals. This is not, you know, not from hikers that maybe are hearing a story of a story of a story. I mean, the best one's the Ben Alder one, isn't it? Boffy. You know, the story about that one, there's all kinds of stories about someone hung himself and it's haunted and all that. But the more you find out and dig into it, the more you find it's just folklore. It's not true at all. Yeah, you'll probably get people even get back to me on this, say, oh yes, it is haunted, I've been there. Right, turn you off of a yapping. Look at this. It's a bug feast, isn't it? That's what I want. Dogs running off and looking, see what I mean? If they pick anything up, they'll find it. Especially Rebel. Rebel seems to be the one really good at this. I think Stella's just happy to be alive. Oh, I'm sorry, Stella, that's how bad. But look at him, he's off again. Probably deer tracks, but that's what you want. Right, I've got to turn you off before I sink in the bog. Just like that, the rain's came. So we're just having a rest here. Dogs will be ambling around. Again, I don't mind them exploring. The farm is to my right, quite a way away, so I'm not too worried about them ambling around here. The reason I'm more worried about the farm is Stephen's got 2 collies that I've seen. He's probably got more dogs, and I don't want my dogs, upsetting these dogs and all that kind of issue. Because I'm guessing he lets them roam free as well. So they'll be around the farm and they'll pick us up and everything will kick off. We don't want to upset the locals, do we? So I'm going to sit it out and see what happens here. Hopefully it's a short one. It's not been too bad today. Can't complain. I will if I can't find my dogs in a minute. As you see, sorry about the rain. There's the woods over there. The bridge is just over that mound there. And this is the plantation I was on about. It goes quite a way up, and I mean that. Now there's a river that comes through some waterfalls, does it like an S-bend all the way down there to join up there. We're staying on the right hand side of that river, followed all the way up alongside the plantation, and then we will be joining up with the northern part of the loch, the north eastern part to be precise. At the moment we've been bombarded by this awful weather, but it's blown over. It's going through phases, as you can see. But hey, we're all kitted up. Good fun. Right. Oh dear. Down the dip there's a river coming out of the forest, and it's a very steep bank on both sides, and even though the water's not deep, getting up and down it would be murder. So I thought double back and we'll go through the plantation, but I don't know if you can see, it's all swamp, so you'd have to go through the central part of the plantation to come out somewhere down there, but you can't do it. So if I can't do it, we've not had that much rain today, the last 2 days. Yes, it rained heavily last night, but don't forget when Neil was here, he had bad weather for a few days. What I'm on about is if he went missing the first night, then it rained the next morning. If he went missing the next morning instead of the first night, it was pouring down overnight and all that. Really bad, much worse than we've had. So he couldn't have got through there. So he couldn't have got onto the northern side from this side, unless I've missed some crossing somewhere. I shall have a look on that side and see if there is a crossing, but I don't think he got round here. I'm trying to get round here and I can't. It's all like this, and that's not just because of today. It would be boggy anyway. Just areas where it puddles. So I'm going to look in these I don't know what, dikes and ditches and all that around here that again probably haven't been really checked that much. And then we're stuck. We'll probably go down the plantation, to be honest, and have a little nose around in there. I'm trying everything. Well, we've doubled back from around that gap there. The fence goes all the way along there. But as I say, it's just a maze of rivers. We'll probably come up to the river further up here, but I'm guessing it'll be lower down because it's coming down the side of the hill. But we've got a clearing that way. That's where we've come from. So that's worth checking. But I'm interested in this area going up towards the north. There's no reason to get in the fence because it's secure, I'm sure. But this is the area that seems to hold a lot of interest for previous stories. So I don't know why. It doesn't make sense, but it's happened before. And the weather will not ease off and I'm sweating, so I'm trying to slow down. Nice mountainside. Hitting all this swamp. Trust me, some of that will take you up 5 deep, maybe waist deep, especially there. This is just water, a lot of vegetation and mud, soft mud underneath. Taking our weight, so I might be able to skirt around, but it seems to be marsh after swamp, but it seems to be levelling off up the top there. What else do you want to do in the pouring rain? Rebel's been tracking deer. Let's have a look. Absolutely throwing it down. This is that river that was going down to the fence that stopped us. It widened up and the banks were really steep. Worse than that. I'm hoping we can cross somewhere up there and get over and get through this clearing. I mean, as I say, there's no reason why Neil would be in here. But hey, you got to check it. Because it's there. That's why you got to check it. And it's just bog, bog, bog everywhere. And it's sweaty as well because I can't uncover because the rain's just not stopping now. Well, we reached the end. But it goes that way. And well, it don't really go that way. It's dead end. But we could be walking in here for hours. This is where you need a team of people going in here. Because there's like little turn-offs and everything. And as I say, we're away from the farm. The farm is right over there on the right. We're about 500-600 metres short of the fence. The fence is that way. That's the northern end, I mean. The southern end down there. No, it won't be northern, will it? It'll be western end. That'll be southern end. And that's north. And we're going back east. Crossing the river is fun. I'm going to have a look up there for a little bit, but then we'll double back because we're drenched. We've been out 2 hours. Nearly only done 4 miles, believe it or not. But it's been 4 miles through bog and marsh and everything. And we've got to do 4 miles back. And I'm absolutely soaked, inside and out. It's so humid. I'm hoping it's going to blow over a bit. Now you see what I mean. We're all drenched. But dogs are drenched. To dive in a tent, absolutely soaked, and not get your gear wet will be impossible. It's okay hiking because you can kind of take shelter and just sit it out, and probably pitch where you actually take shelter. But doing searching, we've got to be out in the weather searching. So it means going through the bogs, going through the marsh, crossing rivers, going through bush that's soaked. You know what I mean? And standing out in the rain like idiots like we're doing now. Rebel's giving it a wash. That's why the hut has been invaluable. That's why when I go to Cairngorms, I don't mind getting soaked if we do a search. But we have to drive back to the hut and dry off and get our kit dry. Otherwise we'll be drenched for a whole day. And that's not good for anyone. And this weather doesn't seem to be letting up. Right, I'm going to have a look up here a little bit, and then we're going to double back. We just spotted some deer. They went flying through that gap there. That's why Rovers picked up. I saw them before the dogs did, because they were hunting that way. Probably the deer had come through and Rebel had picked up the tracks. But this is what it's like around here. Bog, tree trunks, rotten vegetation. Look at that. Why anyone would want to pitch out here? I'm not on about Neil, I'm on about someone else I heard story. I can't find a dry piece of land around here. Maybe it was dry when they were here. Even so, it'd still be boggy and soft. But yeah, this is a place to come. We're a group of people because we could all go in different routes around here and have a lot. As I say, there's no reason why Neil would be here. Right, we're going back now. But you just never know. You never know. You know, sometimes the obvious and not the obvious. Could be a million reasons. Dogs are not picked on anything except deer trails. I've been letting Stella always stays with me. She's far too old to do anything like that. But Rebel's the best one at the moment. I'm sure Rogue could get trained up on it. She's so young. She just needs to pick up what she needs because she's got all the energy. But oh, please tell me this rain's going to start. I think it's rained for about 45-50 minutes. And it would be a godsend if we could get some dry weather so I can take my jacket and kilt off. I've got one in, just bog. Fell in one hole already. That's what makes me mad. You see mud and you see white things that look like bleached bone, and it's just this rock or stone. So maddening when you see it and you think, oh, is that something? That's going towards the lock. The fence ain't much further through there. This is where high boots are godsend. If you're in short boots or trail shoes, I mean, look at it. And you've got to be careful. Some of this is very hidden. Some of this is like, there's marsh. And it's like a giant sponge. And it will take you, you'll walk about 3 or 4 steps. And you think, oh, that's fine, it's just soft. And all of a sudden, you'll realise you're floating. And all of a sudden, when you stop, the whole lot will start sinking, just gradually. And you'll be on a platform that's sinking because of your weight. Oh, Stella, look what she just done. She ran into some mud and she's black. Thankfully, she goes in the water. Look at that. Now imagine bringing that in a tent. No, not going to happen. Right, we're pushing back and washing Stella off on the way. There you go. Yeah, it's deeper than you think, isn't it, Stella? But she's had a good wash. I knew she'll be all right there. It's there. I don't want to open that far end where you can see the currents picking up. Right, one clean dog. See, easy done, isn't it? And I don't want to say it stopped raining because that's like tempting fate, isn't it? But look how bad this water must get when it comes steaming down around there. Banked it up there, isn't it? Same over there. Well, no joy today, but different areas covered. The only way you can get onto that northern side of the loch is either go over them stepping stones when the water's lower, or go around the loch the way we did when we went to the beaches and all that. The fence I know is sealed at the top end because I've checked that out before, so there's no way you can get through the fence. But it's just checking these areas that we're not checked. I've seen an area up there I'd like to check another day. Just check different areas. I'd love to get in the wood behind where he was camped, Neil was camped. But it's getting the dogs in. They'll pick up before I will. And at the moment it's all grown really bad, the gorse has. But we've done a good day's work. 2.5 hours. Takes about another hour to get back. And don't forget, we've been doing it in pouring rain. I'm hoping it'll dry off so I can take some of this gear off. I need to stop sweating. That's what's done me. You're like in a boiler bag. One in plastic bags. It's quite warm. But yeah, it's quite very wet. So the rest, peeling off, drying out a bit. It's just moisture, the humidity. I mean, that does make you sweat, even though it's breathable because it's a kilt or skirt. You've got plenty of breathability, but you still get warm. Jacket is very breathable, but with this humidity, it's really struggling. But at the moment, the sun's out, but all that is coming this way. So I'm not packing it away because I'm going to have to pull it out. So what I'm doing is just having a breather, let that air, myself air, and then when I put it all back on, I won't feel so bad. Yep, it's raining. Oh, for God's sake, stop raining. It doesn't start. Look at that over there. It looks really grey. Oh joy. About another 40 minutes back. And oh, I can't wait to get back. I want to just dry off. Terrible. Moan, 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 moan. You know what they say, a good soldier is never happy unless he's moaning. You don't lose it, do you? Right, off we go. Three Stooges. Now yesterday it was cool. I mean, it's just started raining now, but we had a bit of sunshine. When I say sunshine, I'm not going to go mad. It was a bit of sunny spells. But it started raining now. We're getting blitzed again by grey cloud. 4:30. Fed dogs. I've eaten. And I'm now drinking someone else's beer. It always tastes nicer when you drink someone else's beer. And that picture on there, the Hobgoblin beer, no, that picture does not look like me, before anyone says anything. So I'm going to drink my beer, have a feet up, dogs are going to rest, and I'm going to listen to my audiobook. Bedtime, 21:19, as I was showing you this morning, I think. Enlightened equipment quilt, 0 rated, extra wide. I've taken the straps off, I don't use them. The straps are what you can tie it up so when you turn round on your left or your right, you don't get cold spots. I don't find with an extra wide you need it, to be honest. Got my Alpkit Nero 120, I believe it is. Something like that. And the one the dogs killed, but I managed to fix with a great big patch of Gorilla Tape. So it's Aero, isn't it? Aero 120. That's why I call it an Aero. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Cedar Summit pillow on a bit of foam padding. I find with the weight it doesn't shift then, whereas I find it starts to slip. I don't know why. It's just me. Their quilts are in there ready to go on them if it gets cold, but last night wasn't cold, and to be honest I was getting sweaty in this, so I end up pushing it to the side and just lying sideways on it. That's us done. They're settled. He's been an idiot, puffing like a good one because he's overexcited or overtired. Stella's crashed out, and look, she lies on her leg, the bad leg, and that's what happens when she lies on it. She more or less puts it to sleep permanently. So when she gets up to go for a wee or in the morning, she'll be lifting the leg looking like she's in agony. But if she lied with her leg out, like see like Rogue does, oh, Rebel's just been pig. But if she lied with her leg out, so she's more relaxed, she ain't putting the weight on it. But for some stupid reason she scrunches on top of it. Anyway, that's us done. Since I last talked to you, a hiker went by here about 5 o'clock, and I was outside checking the charge on my phone. In between these heavy showers, we're getting little glimpses of sunlight, and I was trying to do my best to top my phone up using the solar panels. So, you know, normal greeting, hi, you know, and he carried a few more steps, and he doubled back, and he says, "You weren't at Glampine, were you, about a couple of months back?" And I says, as he came back and he said that, I went, "I know you." He says, "Yeah, I was one of the group of lads that turned up drunk that night, and we've been drinking whiskey all night." And I says, "Wow, what a night that was." I says, "You were smashed." I says, "I heard you coming at 12:30. I could see the torchlight." I says, "I put it on the videos." I actually laughing my head off, and I says, "In the morning you're all crashed out, looking blasted, you know. One of your lads was puking on a wall outside the buffet." I says, "I made noise purposely to wake you up because I knew you're going to Oban buffet." "Well, that was your plans." I says, "Did you go?" And he says, "Oh yeah, we all went." I says, "You're joking." He says, "No, we done it." I says, "I'm surprised you did. You know what I mean? The conditions you're in." And he said, "Look, I apologise if, you know, we wake up." I said, "Look, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed myself." Says, "You turned up and all of you were pushing bottles of whiskey at me saying, 'Drink, drink.' And I was drinking your whiskey, and I was having a well at the time." But the thing is, I drink whiskey quite a lot, so it doesn't affect me like it probably affected you, like we're having a good blast, you know what I mean? So I says, where are you off? And he says he's hiking all the way down Glen Kinglass, past Loch Dochard, then Glen Kinglass, and to, is it Narishchan, Buffy? But I says, from what I've heard, that Buffy's like a stable inside, you know. And I think his plans are to put a ground sheet down and actually put the tent up inside it if it is like a stable. So it'll be okay inside his tent, and also have shelter from the Buffy if it's throwing down, because he says the weather's been bad, and I says, yeah. So shook hands, said, I'm bound to bump into you again. It was unbelievable that we bumped into each so soon after. But anyway, an hour later after he'd gone, I was sitting here having dinner and just relaxing. All of a sudden it hammered it down. It was going like a crazy. I don't know what's that. Oh, I've got a muffin here I've got to get rid of. How did that get in? Oh well, that's something I've got to get rid of. I'll get rid of that in a minute. I'll put it out the window. Yeah, I hope he didn't get too drenched. Hopefully he was out near Loch Dochard area and near that shed. Thank you, Rose. She just nudged me with her paw. So, I don't want to ramble on too long and keep this video too long, but it was great to see him. His name was Jamie. So hopefully he's checked the videos up, because I says, check the videos, because I laugh and joke about you lads, you know what I mean? So I hope Jamie didn't get too soaked, and it was nice to meet you again, mate. Right, that's it for us. It's bedtime now.